Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. This video is going to be kind of hard for me to make just because I feel so guilty about it, and I feel in this video I'm going to have to admit that I made a mistake, and making mistakes is completely fine, but when you own animals, you get them, and the expectations is for you to care for them. That's just the expectations, you know, that's what you're expected to do whenever you get a new pet. And I didn't. I missed out on something, and that almost caused my frog, Fettuccine, to die. So I'm gonna explain the issue. I'll grab him in a minute. And I'm gonna put photos too. So basically, a few days before my birthday, I was cleaning up my room, and I had gotten crickets at the pet store that weekend, and I was like, oh, I need to give these to my lizards and to my frog. So I gave some of the crickets to my lizards, and then it was time to give them to my frog, and I couldn't find him, which is weird because, you know, he's normally in his water dish, or he's high up because he's a water tree frog, or a white tree frog, sorry. And he was not there. And I noticed he was out of water, which he wouldn't have been out of water for more than a day. And so I was like, oh shoot, I need to get him more water. Let me find him first. Why can't I find him? Did he get out? And then I found him, and he was right by his water dish in the soil, and he was like, his limbs sprawled out when I picked him up, and he was dry, and he couldn't keep his head up, and he was kind of like shaky almost, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing him. So I start crying, and I haven't even owned this frog for a year yet. He's a year old probably now, because he's definitely a year old now, but I haven't had him for a year yet, and I felt like I failed him, or her, sorry, I don't know the gender. So I got his water dish, and I filled it with water immediately, like within 30 seconds he was in the water. He couldn't really hold his head up, but he knew to go to the edge so he could grip on and hold his head up. I'm gonna put a photo here of him in his water. I know the water is really gross. I didn't clean it. I literally just grabbed it and put him in it. But yeah, this was him, and I laid on the floor down there, and I was there for probably about half an hour. And then I was looking up stuff about dehydration, because look at this photo right here. You can see that brown, and that brown is not good. There's supposed to be this vibrant green, and that's not vibrant green. And that can indicate illness and stress. So I was assuming it was stress. I was like, okay, he's just stressed out because he's dehydrated. So I put him back in the cage, but I put him in the front so I could keep an eye on him, because I was reading and it said it can literally take up 24 to 48 hours for them to rehydrate if they're severely dehydrated. And I was like, I can't lay here for 48 hours. I can't, obviously. I stayed up all night, and I was checking up on him. Then in the morning I was super scared because I was like, maybe he died overnight. And then he was still alive. He was in his water. He stayed in that water dish for probably 2 days straight. He wouldn't eat. And then he started to almost get worse. He was having this white foam come out of his skin. And I also read about that. I couldn't find much about it. The only thing I really could find was that it could be a sign there's toxins in the skin, and that's them letting the toxins out. But I don't give him chlorinated water or anything. I give him completely clean water, and I've been giving him the same water since I got him. And so I was like, okay, what is this? Like, what is going on? And so I panicked, and I know at some point during this time frame he ate one cricket, but he wouldn't eat anything else. I don't know when that happened, but he did eat one cricket, and then he wouldn't eat anything else. And then I actually made a video about it, but decided not to post it because I was like, I don't know, I never got around to editing. And then whenever I thought about it, it was already kind of an old video, and I was like, I'm not gonna put this out. But then I cleaned everything. I got everything out, and I cleaned his cage a while back, but then like even after his water thing happened, you can actually see him in the corner right there. But like after his little incident happened, I cleaned his cage, but then this time I cleaned it completely because I wanted to get any bacteria that was out. So I took boiling hot water and cleaned everything, because that's a way to kill germs. And you obviously have to do it safely because you don't want toxins in their skin and all this. So then I got his cage set up, and I put him in a temporary bin that had plenty of air holes, and it just had like a water dish, paper towels, and then like this hide thing. It was like leaves that go down, but it like filled the whole cage because it's a huge thing and the cage was kind of little. I left him in that overnight. Then I found him the next morning, and like not in the water. He was just on his leaves. I put him back in his cage because I had let the cage sit overnight to, I guess, so all the water would kind of absorb and it could settle. And then I put him in that. And then if there's a photo I can find, I'll insert it right over here of him in his cage. And then he was starting to get better, but he was still having coloration problems where his skin wasn't the right color. I'm gonna insert a photo. This was taken July 10th, that night. So he was definitely getting better. It was definitely improvement, and he was starting to eat again. And he's eating just fine now. He eats all the time. But yes, I was able to feed him, and then I kept an eye on him, of course, and I was making sure everything was going good. And then sorry, brain lag. After all that, I basically just kept an eye on him. I did plenty of research. I posted in a group of frog people, and everyone was giving me advice. Most people were very kind. But yes, so now I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna grab him, and I'm going to show you him now. Okay, chances are he's gonna pee on me during this, but I also did just want to put out something. So his humidity levels and his temperature levels were off, and I didn't know. So humidity, I was reading, and it should be in about 40%, 30, 40, somewhere in there, 20, 30, I don't know. And his was in the 80s, I think it was. And I made sure I took his temperature or his humidity gauge out, and I made sure that it was working, and it was at 90. And it's weird because I don't mist his cage or anything. It's just built up, I guess. And so I got it fixed. I aired everything out. Anything that was on the top of the cage I took off. Now there's only a pair of tongs. It's not on the screen lid part, it's on the black part. But yeah, so I cleaned everything out, and then I just was like, I don't know what else to do. I let the cage air out a little bit. And his temperatures were they were like 75, 80, so like not terrible, but still not good. Now I'm going to show you him. So you can see he's starting to get that green, and he's back to his normal color. He just has one thing. You see all that? That shouldn't be there. I don't know how long it's gonna take for that to heal. I'm assuming it will, but yeah, that's where his pus was coming out, was right here. And I know his poison glands are over there, but I mean, I wasn't too worried about that because he had no reason really to be doing that. But yeah, this is him, and he's clearly doing a lot better. But yeah, I just want to do a quick video telling you that I was kind of embarrassed to admit that I didn't get him water, and that's what caused all of this, because this easily could have been avoided. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And he's doing great now. Say bye, Fettuccine. Bye guys, thanks for watching.